Between 1603 and 1606, something marvelous was written. This antique marvel was a piece of literature that is as alive now as it was during the age of the Renaissance. A brilliant man was the author of this work, and it was his magnificent writing that paved this road to wealth. This playwright and poet is no one other than Sir William Shakespeare, and titled was his play, The Tragedy of King Lear. William Shakespeare lived from April 1564 until April 1616. One of his most famous tragedies, King Lear, was only one of an estimated 39 total plays written by him. He not only constructed plays, but he also is credited for 154 sonnets, 2 long narrative poems, and other numerous poems. Between 1590 and 1613, he constructed much of his most known work. During the beginning of his career as a playwright, he mainly wrote comedies and histories. The most recognized tragedies include Hamlet, King Lear, and Macbeth.
He later on introduced a new type of genre that was neither tragedy nor comedy. This was later called tragicomedies. Today we refer to these as romances.
Some of these tragic comedies were Pericles, The Winter's Tale, and The Tempest, just to name a few.
Although we have recovered most of William Shakespeare's works, the mystery is who really is this character, William Shakespeare? Most of his personal records don't even exist anymore, but we do know the basics. We know that his father was John Shakespeare, his mother was Mary Arden, and he married Anne Hathaway at 18 years old, had 3 kids, Susanna, Judith, and Hamnet. Other than that, we don't really know much about this guy named Shakespeare.
After his career in acting and partly owning a theater known as the King's Men, he then began his life as a playwright and wrote King Lear.
Ah, yes, King Lear. Nothing will come of nothing. One of the most influential lines in any play, I'd say.
Shakespeare's King Lear wasn't entirely fictional.
To some speculation, Shakespeare's King Lear is roughly based off of a legendary monarch who ruled long ago in Britain.
So when was King Lear written?
Scholars don't know the exact date of when Shakespeare finished the tragedy of King Lear, but according to historical records, we do know that the first performance of King Lear was on December 26, 1606.
The main character, King Lear, is the aging king of Britain. Amongst his old age, King Lear is retiring and plans on dividing the land amongst his 3 daughters. In the beginning of the play, King Lear is ignorant and wants to be flattered by everyone. Lear misjudges which daughters to trust, and it comes back to haunt him later on in the play. Kent is a nobleman of the king. Kent and another man, Gloucester, are among the same rank. King Lear banishes Kent, but Kent remains loyal to him. Kent spends most of the play disguised as a peasant. Gloucester's older legitimate son is Edgar. Edgar is tricked easily by his brother early on in the play. Edgar disguises himself as a beggar in the play. Like Lear, Edgar also has moments in the play where he's quite crazy. Like Kent, Gloucester is a nobleman who is loyal to Lear. Gloucester has fathered a legitimate son, Edgar, and a bastard son, Edmund. Gloucester is tortured miserably for his mistakes later on in the play. Lear's youngest daughter is Cordelia. Cordelia is beloved by her father until the opening act when she is unable to find words to flatter him. Her father, King Lear, disowns her. She also marries the King of France. Despite being disowned by her father, she remains loyal to him throughout the whole play. Lear's eldest 2 daughters are Regan and Goneril. In the opening act of the play, the 2 daughters give in to his request and flatter him highly. Both are ruthless characters and challenge Lear's authority throughout the play. The fool is the king's jester. He uses double talk and crazy songs to criticize Lear for his foolish mistakes.
King Lear decides to hang up his throne and divide his land amongst his 3 daughters. Tooting his own horn, he asks for praise from all 3 of them. Goneril and Regan are Lear's oldest of the 3, and they proudly praise him. The youngest daughter, who happened to be the most beloved daughter, Cordelia, states that she loves her father, but unlike her other sisters, she does not praise him. King Lear becomes very upset at the lack of praise from his daughter. The King of France then takes Cordelia as the Queen of France, and Edmund is determined to get back land which was given to his brother. Lear's other daughters then make Lear extremely upset. He vows that he does not want to see his older two daughters again. Then he realizes that he made a mistake, and his youngest daughter was correct with her statement. Edmund convinces Edgar to flee and makes it look like Edgar attacked him. Lear stands in a storm swearing at his daughters, when Kent, a nobleman of the king, tells him to hide in a cave. Out of nowhere, Edgar comes out disguised as a madman, and that is where our scene starts. Act 3, Scene 4.
Here's the place, my lord. Good, my lord. Enter. The tyranny of the open night's too rough for nature to endure.
Let me alone.
Good, my lord. Enter.
Wilt break my heart?
I would rather break my own. Good, my lord. Enter.
Thou thinkest 'tis much this contentious storm which invades us to the skin. 'Tis not, I say to thee, but when the greater malady is fixed, the lesser is scarce felt. Thou'dst shun a bear, but thy flight lay toward the raging sea, and thou'dst the bear in the mouth. When the mind's free, the body's delicate. Mind doth from my senses take off feeling else, save what beats there. Filial ingratitude. I will weep no more, in such a night as this. To shut me out, pour on, I will endure. God or ill, thine kind father gave his frank heart to all. Oh, that way of madness lies. Let me shun that, none of that.
Good, my lord. Enter.
Prithee, go in thyself, seek thee on ease. This tempest will not give us leave to ponder on things would hurt me more. But I'll go in. You, boy. You go in first. Poor naked wretches, wherever you are, that bide the pelting of this pitiless storm, taking too little care of this.
Fathom in half. Fathom in half. Poor old Tom.
Come not in here, nuncle. He's a spirit. Help me. Help me.
Who's there?
Just spirit. A spirit. He says his name's poor Tom.
Not thou that dost grumble in the straw. Come forth. Away. The foul fiend follows me. Through the sharp hawthorn blows the cold wind. Hum! Go to thy cold bed and warm thee.
Didst thou give all thy to my daughters? And art thou come to this?
Enter to this poor town. Whom to this foul fiend? Bless thy 5 wits. Poor Tom's a cold. Whom did he? Whom did he? Bless thy whirlwind. Bless thy starship. Take it away. Do, poor Tom. Whom thy foul fiend vexes. Who I could have there again. And again. And there again.
What has his daughters brought him to this pass? Couldst thou give nothing? Wouldst thou give him all?
Nay, he reserved but a blanket, else we had been all ashamed.
Now are the plagues in the pendulous air. Hang the faded oath of light to thy daughters.
He hath not daughters, sir.
Death, traitor! Nothing could have subdued nature to such a aloneness to his unkind daughters. The fashion that discarded father should have little mercy on their flesh. Judicial punishment towards this flesh begot those pelican daughters.
Pillicock sat on Pillicock hill. La 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 la.
This cold night will turn us out to fools and madmen.
Feed off thy foul fiend. Obey thy parents. Keep thy words of justice. Swear not, commit not with man's word. With man's spouse, set not thy sweet prayer away. Tom's a cold.
What hast thou been?
And did the act of darkness with her. And swore as many oaths as I spoke words, and broke them in the face of Have. Keep thy foot out of brothels, and thy hand out of plackets, thy pen from lenders, and also thy book. Deny not thy foul fiend. Still through the hawthorn blows thy cold wind. Some, mum, nunny, dauphin, my boy. My obey, cease, trust by.
Why, thou wert better in my grave than to answer with this uncovered body this extremity of the skies. Is no man this? No more than this, consider him well. Thou owest warm silk, the beast. The beast no hide, no sheep no wool, the cat no perfume. Ha! Here's three unsophisticated, thou art the thing. Unaccommodated man no more, but such a poor, bare-forked animal as thou art. Awful you lending. Come, unbutton her.
Prithee, nuncle, be contented. 'Tis a naughty night to swim in. Now a little fire in a wild field were like an old leech's heart, a small spark. All the rest on body's cold. Look here, comes a walking fire.
This foul fiend, flibbit to gibbet, he begins his curfew and wakes till the cock, the first cock. He gives the web and the pin and squints the eye, makes the hair the mildews the white, wheat and hurts the poor creatures of Eth. Swithhold, foot it thrice thy old. Beat her all right, and troth plight, and around thee, arraint thee.
How fares your grace?
What's he?
Who's there? Was it you seek? What are you there? Your names?
Poor Tom, who eats thy swimming frog, thy toadpole, the wall, the newt, the water, that is the fury of his heart, when the foul fiend rages, eats the cow dung for salads, swallows the old rat, ditch dog, drinks the green mantle of the standing pool, who is whipped from tithing to tithing, punished, imprisoned, and had 3 suits to his back, 3 suits to his body. But mice and rats and such small deer, Tom's food for 7 long year. Beware, my follower. Peace, Smolkin. Peace.
What hath your grace no better company?
The Prince of Darkness is gentleman. Modo he's called, and also Mahu.
Our flesh and blood, my lord, is grown so mild.
Oh, poor Tom's cold.
First let me talk with this philosopher. What is the cause of thunder?
Good, my lord. Take his offer. Go into the house.
I must talk with this same learned Theban. Well, what does he study?
How to prevent this fiend and kill thy vermin.
Come, let us talk.
After the cave scene, the setting is moved to the farmhouse of Gloucester's. At the farmhouse, Lear is in a crazy state of mind and believes his oldest 2 daughters are betraying him. Gloucester convinces Kent, the fool, and King Lear to flee to Dover. Gloucester pushes heavily for them to go to Dover because he fears that Lear's life is in danger to his crazy son-in-law, Cornwall. Despite his loyalty to the king, Gloucester is tortured by getting his eyes poked out by Cornwall. After this event, complete chaos erupts. It is at this time when Cornwall is murdered by one of King Lear's servants for the horrible torture of Gloucester. Kent, Cornwall, and Lear flee to Dover. Edgar, the madman that he is, kills one of Goneril's servants. After Edgar murders the servant, he finds out some revealing information that Goneril had planned to murder her husband Albany. Lee and Cordelia are captured and attacked by Edmund and sent to jail and instructed to be killed later on. Edgar puts a stop on his crazy illegitimate brother by wounding him. Goneril poisons her sister and then stabs herself. Edgar accuses Edmund, his brother, of treason. Edmund orders Cordelia to be hung. King Lear dies of grief due to his youngest daughter's death. Edmund, the crazy illegitimate son, also dies.
Act 3, Scene 4 has a tremendous amount of symbolic representation. First and foremost, this scene shows how crazy King Lear and Edgar become to be. The storm triggers each of the individuals to act out of their minds. For the first time in the play, Lear shows little gratitude towards others. As the scene goes on, Edgar and King Lear become mad. Both characters are a little eerie throughout the rest of the play, but this scene in particular, both characters reach their highest level of insanity.
Harold Bloom, the writer of the book Shakespeare, The Invention of the Human, states that the double plot of King Lear adds considerable complexity to what already had been the most emotionally demanding of Shakespeare's plays. Dr. Johnson from Bloom's book states that there is no truer voice of feeling than in Lear's all-imaginative literature, the Bible included. And not to lose greatness is also abandoned and a part of our own capacity for significant emotion. Contrary to professional belief, we believe that King Lear is not one of Shakespeare's best plays. Macbeth, Hamlet, Julius Caesar, and Romeo and Juliet are all the plays that we have read, and they seem to make more sense than King Lear.